Oh man, hold on. We gotta stop what we doing. Hold on, Shay in the house. Shay, we praying for you, bro. Thanks for being. Let me see if I can get this down. Hey, you guys. Hey, Potato. Gemini, what's up? I just want Shay, my bro. Um, thank you for everything you're doing. Thanks for being a leader. Thanks for taking those hits. You didn't have to. You could have just been like moving on. Thank you, bro. Thank you. We praying for you today. You a legend regardless. And I know you're going to win. I know you're going to win. You're a legend. You standing up. You're about to change. Man, we're sitting up here like I had to go live. I had to go live. I'm sitting here like I think it's today. I think it's today. You know I don't want to bother you. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. LNC, y'all, please subscribe to the Real Late Night Crew. Minding his business. The bullies come to bully, and they they met their match. They was like, let me go over here. Now they like, no. Why did we go over here? We love you, Shay. Good luck today. Good luck today. I'm still in the process too, bro. It's a lot going on I gotta tell you about. You know how it's going here, and I love you. Shout out to Late Night Crew. Thank you so much. Um, Potato, I did a video. Did you see my video? I didn't know if I was adding you correctly. I put Potato Gaming, but I don't know if that's. Can you email me if you don't want to drop the link? Email me your channel. Make sure I'm tagging you right. Thank you for my mouse pad. I was totally shocked. Cynthia, what's up? Y'all, today's the day. Whoever y'all been rocking in this Dalton thing. Today is history going to be made. History is going to be made. If nothing else, these people are sitting up in here like, this dude didn't give up. they like, they like, we thought he would go away. He's supposed to go away. He's the small guy. He's supposed to fold by now. So shout out to Shay. They they're like he's supposed to he's supposed to be gone. What is happening here? This is not what we planned for. We sent a letter. Those of y'all that have been here since the beginning, you know this has been a long, unnecessary ride. I think once this election in Dalton, if you guys haven't followed up, I did cover the Dalton situation. Um, Long story, not today, but I think a lot of people. Not, it didn't mean Helen. We about to get to you, girl. We about to get to you, Helen Brock. Cause girl, you in danger, girl. Well, I shouldn't say that. Poor Helen. We still ain't found her. But her life, the way she was living her life, we're gonna talk about. Helen Brock, poor thing. But the speaking on what happened with the Dalton stuff, just cause Shay got in here really quickly. We didn't know each other at all. We didn't know each other at all, and it turned into I must not affiliate. I mean, grown people told me I couldn't talk to somebody. Shay, I need to do a separate live about this. Grown people said you are not allowed to talk to them or else we're gonna dox you. True story. We're gonna ruin your life if you talk to this one person. Then they go over to him and they say, if you don't bend the knee and do what we want you to do. Now, mind you, see, this is live. History is a mofo. History is a mofo. We have spent thousands of dollars to defend ourselves for the freedom of speech to just do what we want to do. And this whole situation, I can't say the word I want to say because I'm in legal counsel. They did everything, y'all. They streamed court cases. Tiffany said illegal. They did everything like ha 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 ha. But the part that's gonna burn is, and I have to stay here, so I don't have a problem with anyone. But The problem, I hope Jason House got enough jobs for all of them, because they did all of this to try to secure some employment, a position, something crazy. The same stuff Tiffany Henyard promised a lot of them way before, and they didn't get that time. I hope he got enough positions for everybody, because they going to need them. So shout out to Late Night Crew. And you guys know I don't talk about a lot of stuff. Because yeah, then people, oh, we can't find this, we can't find that. You mean you streamed a court case and you think the chief judge gonna allow y'all to still look up my file for public consumption again? So then when they couldn't find that, they started doxing me again, saying, yeah, she got evicted twice in December. And it wasn't even me. So it's so crazy because you have to amend things and keep up and keep up and keep up. And the sad part about it all, and why Shay is still fighting and I am still fighting, this is very unnecessary. We're just two YouTubers with an opinion. And the sadder part of Shay's case, in my opinion, this is not his opinion, this is me. A public official ordered a shirt and wore it to a board meeting. And was all rah rah sis boom bye. A trustee wore his logo to a board meeting. But once you don't do what they tell you to do, they try to rain hell on you. And all of you guys who ignore that's out there watching this and ignoring it and saying, oh, people are crybabies or they're complaining because it didn't happen to you, and then you can't even have your own voice. You got to have their voice. Shame on you. You can't even have your voice. That's why I always tell y'all I think Tiffany will win, but I hope Tiffany do not win either seat. Sorry, Tiff. She don't win any seat. The news cameras go away and y'all stuck. You're stuck. And I mean that. You're stuck. I meant to say, shout out to Everyday PJ. He made it to 100,000 subscribers. When I met Everyday PJ, he is from Oklahoma, and he was covering Dalton. I know we got off subject because see, Shay, you would do that because you know how I feel about you. This is Everyday PJ. I want to share his thing. He was at 40K, maybe 48K when I met him. Online, I don't know him. He was covering Dalton, and then he started seeing all of the debacle going on in Dalton. Subscribe to this man. Subscribe to him. He started to see what was really going on here, and he stopped covering Dalton. And guess what? He made it to 100K without only covering Tiffany Henyard. Without only making Tiffany Henyard. He made it to 100K quicker than the people that were only covering Tiffany did. So shout out to him. He was like, I didn't realize he was covering Tiffany. And I hope he don't mind me saying this, but he was like, man, y'all real people. Because it looked like I'm covering Helen Brach. She had a life. Or I'm covering Naziah Harris. These are still real people. And you have to realize these are real people. And everyone is not just sitting up there wanting Tiffany to go. It's not everybody that wants Tiffany to go. It's not everybody that feel like, so nobody can have a voice. No one can have a voice. So y'all, I spent 10 minutes. I love you, Shay. All of this, it makes me so upset because it was not even necessary. They came in. If anybody even wanted to straddle the fence, they want to destroy you. I go to the grocery store and they like, here go, excuse my French, you guys. This is real life. A 70-year-old woman, that's that burgundy, excuse my French, that's that burgundy bitch. You're 70. You're calling people bitches. And at the same time, you're picking up hog maws. Make it make sense, ma'am. Y'all gotta chill. I hope Jason House got enough jobs for everybody. Because if not, Jason, you in danger, girl. Because you already know they're going to be, 5 seconds, they're going to be like, We should have never voted for Jason. Mm-mm. I knew something was wrong with Jason, but I've been told y'all that. Been told y'all that. All right, let's get to, and shout out to Everyday PJ. Thank you, Potato Gaming. Hey, Cynthia, I had to roll it. I had to roll it. Potato, thank you for that mouse pad. I was like, yes. And I didn't know what it was. I thought I had like a newspaper or something. It came all rolled up. And I unrolled it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. So I had to do a video. I cannot wait to set up my PC. Thank you, Potato Gaming. Thank you to all of y'all that support the channel. This is just, you know, I remember talking with my friends and my family and saying I was gonna cover Dalton. And you have to be from here to understand. And they like, you know how it gets. I'm like, yeah, but I should be able to have a voice. You know, it is America. I thought Dalton was in America, but North America at least. But maybe, I mean, I I could be wrong. And they was like, you know, if you know, don't be scared to just back down and just go ahead and be all in and take the bait, take the little money they offer you, take the stories they offer you, take the bait. But if you see something, say something. And that's the bottom line. If I see something wrong with Tiffany, I want to say it. If I see something wrong with the trustees, I want to say it. It's the freedom of speech. Y'all went way too far where this man had to go to Google and challenge Google. My grandma used to say, "Y'all think fat meat ain't greasy." That's what I think of with Shay. Y'all think fat meat ain't greasy. It's so sad. You can't have your voice. Again, shout out to everyday thing with PJ. Made 101K. Stopped dead in his tracks covering Tiffany Henyard when all the chaos was going on and just went on to doing his regular content. Shout out to him. I didn't even know. I looked up and I saw the post. He made 100K. I'm like, dang, that fast? That fast? Because this is another thing you have to worry about the Dalton audience. You can't have a Dalton or Thornton audience. I'm here. That cannot be your only audience. As soon as you say something, because they try to bully you with subscriptions too. They try to bully you with subscriptions. They'll sit up there, oh, we gonna tell everybody to unfollow. Like they did critical. And y'all don't, and nobody speaks up. Or like they try to do reality check. Been using their streams this whole time, but because they don't like a certain thing they said or the way they move, they're not doing that but streaming. Or if they're friends with me, we're boycotting them. Y'all should have seen some of the emails they sent out regarding um me to them. If you don't get rid of her, if you don't get rid of her, and now these are grown people, other YouTubers. We're gonna not support. We're not gonna stream. Really? So now you're trying to bully somebody else into doing what you want to do. Shay at Google. Shay at Google. I'm claiming victory, but if nothing else, he had about 200 pages of what's that called, y'all? It's not discovery, but it's called some. He had 200 pages of documentation, maybe more than that. 300, because Philly Field read it, maybe more than that. If nothing else, they looking at you. It's a shame. It's a shame. And y'all want to say again, Anton Daniels, thanks for confirming to the Department of Justice. This is your problem. Cause I'm sorry, Shay just hit my soul. Cause today he shouldn't even be going through this. But y'all want to say Tiffany the problem. In the words of Anton Daniels, you know why you don't like Tiffany Henyard? You're just like her. Shout out to Stephanie Wiedemann. I'm glad she won. I actually think it was poetic justice that she won. You got to treat people the way you want to be treated. So the fact that she got fired, which we know that people don't take the next chief of staff, but the fact she got fired, she still got another position at the park district, so she was good. But the fact she got fired and now she's sitting on the board with Tiffany, it's poetic justice. You got to treat people the way you want to be treated. But as my theory, as soon as Stephanie does, I hope she's strong. As soon as Stephanie do not do what those people want her to do, I don't even got to finish. I pray, but I think Stephanie has a mind of her own. So that's why I was okay with, I think Stephanie's a good choice. And I hope she's strong and I hope she can just fight for the residents, as she said. Fight for the residents, not be on Team Carmen, Team Chris. She's fighting for anti-Tiffany. I hope she has her own vote in her own mind. And I hope we can move forward in the village. But, I mean, in the township, too. Oh, I'm like, what? I said, what's FAFO? I had to play it in my head, Scott. Y'all, I'm having a great day. I woke up this morning in prayer. It's so crazy that Shay jumped because I was praying for Shay this morning. So for him to jump in there, it was amazing. I woke up feeling good. I woke up, got to do my workout. I spent about 30 minutes meditating and making sure I prayed for everything that was going on because this village is trash, y'all. The township is trash, y'all. And the media makes it even worse. You know what I mean? Everybody want to jump in front of a camera. Or everybody got something to say. Everybody want to judge people they never met a day in their life. And if you don't jump on board, they want to ruin you. You know what I mean? It's super cold here, y'all. So I'm a little sniffly. But we had double digits, so I was able to go for a little walk. Um, y'all, it's crazy. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. It's absolutely crazy. So shout out to Late Night Crew and Mrs. Late Night Crew. I mean, he had to put his whole life on pause for some. I'm from here. I'm like, can you imagine being somewhere and you have to pause your life for Dalton? And what? Being from here, I wouldn't pause my life for Dalton. He had to stop what he was doing. He had already had a successful channel. And everybody was cool with him. He came to Dalton, gave back to Dalton. And that one time, soon as somebody came, guess what happened? Not everybody. They want to be meanies. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, all you new content creators, y'all want to jump on board because it's a bunch of people that think they know everything about Dalton, and you want to hurry up and give them wrenches. Been there, done that. Will ruin your channel. That's why I'm glad I had a good mentor. Child, let's get to Helen. Helen, like, what about me? Shay, why you set my channel off like that? Shout out to everybody that's here. Let me say hello. Let's talk about 20 minutes. I had to go there. Today's the day. I should have did a separate video. So now this live stream gonna have timestamps. But hit the like button as you come in. And you know what? This is the audience because I'm talking about Helen Branch. I don't have the Bush people, so I didn't even have to tell you that. They're coming up in there liking. Gemini, Potato, Scott, Cynthia. Yeah, everybody. You reap what you sow, right, Cynthia? Like poetic justice. Like what goes around comes around. Treat the janitor the same way you would the CEO. All those good sayings. Now she's sitting right next to her. And in the township, she may be the supervisor, but everybody's equal on that board. Even more so, um, now. And you guys, I wonder if Jerry Jones was sitting at home just watching all this. Watching. Okay, let's talk about my girl Helen. So you guys, I'm from Chicago. So I don't know if you guys ever heard of Brock's Candy. I loved Brock's Candy growing up. Now it was this store. in Chicago called Sears. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this store called Sears. We used to get the Sears catalog. I actually got my first set of braces at Sears. Sears had a it was a place you would go to get your pictures taken. You could go to Sears to get has anyone been to Sears Roebuck? Let me know. I used to love that catalog when it came out. It was super thick, almost like a Spiegel catalog. And we would go to Sears, and the treat after we went to the dentist, because Sears had a dentist, they had an eyeglass. It was known for tools as well. You can get your appliances there. Um, I got braces there. I took my family photos there. I got my glasses there. It was like an all-in-one shop. But at the end of Sears in River Oaks, it was a candy store, and you could go in the candy store, and you could get like bags of candy, right? And one of my favorite things to get, and I didn't really like it, but it was like a staple. You had to get it for some reason. You would get the Brock's candy corn with the Spanish peanuts. And I don't know, and it was a mix. Do anybody recall that? It was like the candy corn. It would be around October. You get the candy corn, and they'll put the Spanish peanuts, and the Spanish peanuts had like a little shell to it. Do anyone recall that? Oh, Scott, you remember? And it'll mix up in the yeah. You could go there and get the Brock's candy by the bag and a pound. Thanks, Scott. You remember that. Some good memories. Cynthia said, love Sears, back to school shopping. Yes, you had to go back to school. Yeah. Get your school uniforms. And it would be so good because it's a little salty and a little sweet. So today we're going to talk about the childless heiress. And we're going to talk a little bit about Helen Brach. Now, Helen, she was missing. She came up missing in 1977, and I think in 1984 they finally declared her deceased. Okay, but this is what a lot of people didn't know about Helen. Okay, she met her man later in life. Now imagine being a coat check girl. Helen was a coat check girl in Florida, and she was about 40 years old, and her boo was 50. Okay, so she was single, and he was single, and she finds out she didn't land it upon the heir to the Brock's candy fortune. Okay, his name was Frank. So I just want to give a little history of Brock's. But we're gonna talk about the death of. Can we say, when you're missing? Can we say she's deceased? Look at this man right here. I didn't trust him, even though that collar is kind of fly. But you know that man, he was fast, y'all. Y'all know he was not. He was fast. So this is Helen. Her husband died. Maybe we're gonna get the years right, but I'm gonna say, let me go to my notes. I think he passed away 10 years after um Helen married him. So she was the sole heir because the creators of Brock, it was founded in 1904 by Emil Brock, a German immigrant in Chicago, Illinois. Initially, the company started as a small candy shop where Brock sold his handmade confections. His candy was sweet. It used to be this candy. Do you guys recall it? It was like coconutty, and it was three colors, like chocolate, vanilla. We could talk about Brock candy all day. It was very unique candy, wasn't it? Very unique candy. And they sold Brock's. Let's just go over the candies just right quick so y'all can jog your memory. Now we're gonna go to new school Brock. Hey, Big Mike. Gemini said he doesn't look trustworthy. Look at him. But wait till you hear what he says, Gemini. He was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, I hit that. He was something else for 1977. He was something else. He has since passed away, but he was the only one convicted in Helen's murder, but not convicted for murdering her. Or the missing, he wasn't convicted in that. It was sort of like He was swindling that money. She was we're going to talk about a lot of things. She was a philanthropist. She was a socialite, so she threw tons of parties. But sorry guys, I'm a little stuffy this morning. She threw tons of parties, but she was a millionaire living in a mansion by herself. This is the mansion in Glenview, Illinois. I don't know if I ever visited Glenview, Illinois, but the mansion, someone bought it for like, look at this is the foyer. Oh my gosh. Someone pay, oh no, this was her condominium. I'm sorry. She had a condominium downtown, and she had a residence. That's what all the rich people do. Like they go over to the suburbs and have their big house, and then they go on. You always want a high rise downtown condo. So anyway, she decided to get into horse racing. Shout out to Conscious. Conscious actually was covering horse races, and that's what kind of pinged this story in my head. Thank you, Lana. Thank you so much for the 9.99 super chat. That's what kind of pinged it in my head, right? Because oh, Florida, look at you. Um, oh yeah, we gonna go back. So she kind of like got into horse racing and buying the horses because she was a big animal rights advocate as well. But I think horse racing is not, I don't think that's, I don't think they, I'm not going to say this. I'll have to ask people that know about horses, but they be saying like they don't treat the horses well sometimes. Some owners, I don't, jockeys, is that what we call it? It's almost like, is it inhumane? Is it humane? Do they treat the, like when they win all that money on the horse races, like the people that own the horses, do they, I would give my horse caviar. So I don't know. And thanks again, Lana. So let's go to this old school candy to see if this jogs your memory about Brock's and who owned Brock's. Then we'll talk about some history. Then we're gonna talk about her boo. So her husband died, and she was like, I need a man. I need, but really, she wasn't looking for love. This man right here, y'all, he looked for widows, and he found the widow of all widows. It was like, he described it. He's like, cha-ching. I found one. That's like someone dating Juanita Jordan, even though Michael Jordan is still alive. I'm just saying, that's like someone finding Juanita Jordan and like, cha-ching. Who else? Who can you think is super rich? That's like Stedman leaving Oprah. Then someone coming date Oprah. Who would be like? I'm trying to think. Who would be super duper rich? That we could think of. Shoot, Elon, not Elon. What's the man? Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. They probably they probably hanging off her windows like, shoot, cha-ching. Man, you got to be careful, y'all. I can't think of any widows that poor widows that would, or widow men that people left a lot of money to. I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, he was looking for widows. Oh, ooh, that's a tough one. Vanessa Bryant. Yeah, she could never. She could never. Speaking of widows, Twitch from the Ellen DeGeneres show still don't sit well with me that his ex-wife, like life goes on. Don't get me wrong, life goes on. But she's doing this book and she doing this tell-all, and he died of the S word. He took his own life. Like, respect the children for a little bit. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, how much was Twitch able to leave her? And she paraded her new man around. And do she need the money for her kids? So I'm conflicted about that. So thanks for that. Yeah, Vanessa. Ooh. Vanessa Bryant could never. Like, I'm not saying it like that, but you know what I mean? Like, who? She's still young. Life goes on, right? But who could marry Vanessa Bryant? I know this is off subject, but Nipsey Hussle left behind, what was her name? They weren't married, but Lauren London. And the other man, the Black Panther, he wasn't married, but he left everything to, what's his name? Black Panther, the amazing actor. Is it Chadwick Boseman? Left everything to his lady. Ugh, it gets tricky. The world is watching. But yeah, Vanessa Bryant is a tough one. Mm, mm, mm. Chadwick, yeah. Life goes on, you guys. Life, some people believe, like certain religions, they believe the dead is unknowing of what we're doing here, and some people believe people are watching over us. So it just depends. Like you still living, so you can't just shrivel up, you know. But who can you trust? Like Vanessa Bryant can't go to the local Kroger and meet the manager there and start, and even though he has everything about him amazing, start dating him. And she has all girls, and it's just crazy. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. That was deep, y'all. Y'all went deep with that. Okay, so this man was looking for gigolos. I mean, he was a gigolo looking for widows. So let's go over some candies. So I didn't know Brock's did these hearts. Isn't that cool? Now Brock's has been sold, and what was so cool, that's how she became the sole heiress, because her husband was the sole family member. They didn't have children, and so he left everything to her, but he had already sold that, the family had sold Brock's already. So let's look at some of these candies. I don't like these hearts. People used to give them to me all the time. They taste like chalk to me. Do y'all like those hearts? What else? Oh, I didn't like the cinnamon. I didn't like the cinnamon. They were too spicy. Where's the old school candy? Because see, this is too. I for darn sure don't want a cookie cake with all of that. Let's see what else they got up here. I hope they didn't make Peeps. Did they make Peeps? Cause okay, so peppermint. I don't think they trademark peppermint candy canes. Let's see, gumdrops. Now their gumdrops was kind of good. I like the spicy gumdrops. Let's go to the old school Brock candy because I feel like this is too. I like the spicy gumdrops. Okay. Let's look okay. Let's look at the original can. Oh, you guys, y'all look what I found. Who named this candy? Look what I found, you guys. This used to be, I don't know. Did you like this? I sort of liked it. It was like the coconut, the chocolate stars came in a box. Marshmallow eggs. Ooh. Brown, pink, and white. You got it. You got it, Lana. You guys named these candies. What are we talking about here? Ooh, those were pretty good. My dad used to bring those home. Um, so the peppermint stars, I think, are their trademark. Let's look that up really quickly, and then we'll go tour their facilities. Um, so this is their trademark: the candy corn, mellow cream, pumpkin. What is that? I think I know what those are. Ew. Let me know if you like that. It tastes like wax. I'm sorry, Mr. Brox. Oh no. It was these, you guys. Remember these? Did you guys eat these? Mr. Brock was like, you gonna get this every Halloween. Who buys a bag of these? You like those, Lana? I, Oh my goodness, Florida girl, those circus peanuts. No, it was 100% sugar. It was it was just orange sugar. I didn't like those. I didn't like those. So y'all like those? Okay, let's see what else they made. You guys are so funny. Oh, Starbright Brock's originated the Starbright's peppermint candy. Now that is something, and the conversation hearts, the sweethearts. Okay. Wow. So they patent Starbright's peppermints. My bad. My bad. So every time somebody in church open up one of these, every time somebody open up one, well, this the fake one. But every time the elder in church open up one of these, you gotta thank them, y'all. You gotta thank Bronx. That is pretty cool. That is really cool. Okay. So let's tour their facility and then we're gonna get on to Helen Child. Helen tried, man. Helen tried. So let's see what Brock's cover now. Now I do like these. Um I like these peppermint, the soft peppermint candies. It's nothing but sugar. Now, do you guys like this? The one with the Christmas tree in it? I never tasted those, but the Christmas tree was just suspect to me in the middle of the peppermint nougats. Now, this was my jam right here, the spicettes. That was my jam. Y'all put in your favorite your favorite candy, the Christmas candy. Cynthia, you bringing back so many memories. You guys, we were Atlanta. What else they had? Oh, so now they got fancy. Okay, wait a minute. Well, I guess this is necessary. So y'all, they didn't went and whatever's on the cutting room floor, they giving you crushed candy cane. So you can put them on like you can't crush your own candy cane. Okay, all right. So yeah, cinnamon Imperials. I kind of remember those. That's like a hot, like a spicy. So Bronx, they were innovative, very innovative. Okay, so they since sold the company. Y'all, you brought back so many memories. Okay, so let's just take a tour of the facility. Let's look at some candy, and then we're gonna a commercial. Then we're going to take a tour of the facility. Then we're gonna get to how poor Helen. Helen thought she had found some. Ooh, strawberry bonbons. Ooh. Exactly, Erica. Welcome. Said she hated those pumpkins. Those pumpkins were like so waxy. Like we should do like a class action suit if we ate any of those candies every year and we had cavities. Okay, let's watch a Bronx commercial. Let's see how this goes.
Tempting candies using fresh, delicious ingredients. So there's only one way to pick your favorite. Try them all.
Wait, was that circus peanut in there, you guys? Let me see. I had to wait. Or is that? I don't know. They got peppermint. They got butterscotch. They got the candy corn. No, they got the cinnamon, the gumdrops. What's these little fish? They weren't Swedish fish. That looked like a peanut up in here to the one, two, three, four to the right. That might have been. I'm sorry that this. I hated those circus peanuts. Y'all are so funny. It used to be. I used to work at Menards, and it was this candy. It was like people would buy it all the time. It was by Brock's, and it was like a toffee, but in the middle, it was like a nut, like a crunchy something. I don't know what it was called. I'm gonna have to call somebody. What was it? It was. It was like some. It was the worst candy you could eat in your. I think it was called maple nut goodies. I think this is it. And people, this is like the worst thing you could eat in your life. Um, I want to see the back of these calories. See, we was eating all this. before it was calories and stuff like that. This is the worst candy. It was like crunchy peanuts and toffee and maple syrup. Oh my gosh. Oh, potato orange slices. Yes, that was good too. But like I said, we need to do a class action lawsuit because it was nothing but sugar. Like the coating of the orange slices was all sugar. And then what was the gelatin orange part? What was the nutritional value of that, you think, potato? A hard candy peanut. Oh, you can't lose with butterscotch. That's a good church candy. But we used to get babysitted by this lady, and she had all these Brock's candies in a dish. But if you went to get, it was like pillow candy. But if you went to get one, they was all stuck together, and her cat hair was on it. We were like, ew. And she'd be like, you want one? We'd be like, gross. Gross. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, those milkmaid caramels. We used to make caramel apples with those. Oh, sorry, y'all. I didn't share this. Um, the milkmaid caramels. For um class for home economics. Um, we made candy apples melting down the milkmaid caramels. I wouldn't recommend anybody eat one of these caramels and start chewing. Feeling gone. Fruity lollipop, pop in a tea. Oh wait, do y'all remember the lollipop, caramel lollipop? I remember those. Now what is this? Milk? What's this clear candy? That looks suspect. Anybody know? I feel like I could taste this candy. I feel like I tried that candy. Does anyone know what this is? What was that clear candy? Oh, mint, pucker up with a box, lemon drop, bite into a licorice taste of buttery butterscotch. You got to try each and every one. Y'all, those peanuts are cracking me up every time I see these peanuts because y'all be so y'all over these peanuts right here. Everyone. And they got three colors. They got an orange slice. Oh wow. They got a chocolate covered peanut. Someone mentioned that. They got a little coconut little thing. I mean, the candies weren't really. Oh, y'all, look, one, two, three, top third one to the. What was I did not like that? Was that the peanuts with the crunchy shell? What they would stab your tongue. Wait a minute, is that what you guys were trying to? Spiky, crunchy shell. This is them right here. What was this? Why was we eating that? French burnt peanuts? Chocolate. Oh, wintergreen. Oh, slowpoke. A strong mint. That clear one. Y'all, what was the purpose of this? Did anyone ever eat one of these? I feel like I did it. I didn't like it. I never had to try it again. French burnt peanut. What ingredients is in this? Y'all, they had us eating anything. Scott, this brings me back to the back to school. When we talking about school, how you had to dry your hands on a towel. They made us eat anything. What was that? They just gave us anything to eat. And we were like, okay. You. To pick your favorite box.
I'll try them all.
Nobody treats America like Brock's. Hey, Gardis. Okay, so let's look at the Brock's Candy Factory. Hey, they survived. They said we are in here. Um, wow. Thanks, Potato. let's see. Let's go to the Bronx. Candy factory. Y'all was mad about those peanuts, man. Those peanuts. Like you would eat anything but those circus peanuts. I agree. Okay. Let's look at the factory. Then we're gonna get over to our girl Helen. Ooh, they go to peppermint. Oh, this the abandoned factory. Which one location? They had like three. I wonder if this is the west side location. They were out west for a while. And then they bought the new Tribune, the Tribune building too. So wow, this the abandoned. Who did you learn from Dalton? Tell me, tell me, Lana. Jason Weaver's from Dalton. Now I didn't know Jason was from Dalton. However, I'm glad you brought that up. We have to talk about him because Jason Weaver did go to a local. He went to Thornwood. So I thought he lived in Calumet City, but I could have been wrong. But yeah, Jason Weaver, his mom, and you guys, I remember this was a huge thing before he got to Jason Weaver. If I'm lying, this is my memory. I'm flying. She worked at a restaurant part time, in Lansing, and when he got to do the Jackson's American Dream, and this was the rumor, and he got to do the Jackson's American Dream, and he got to do the Lion King. They was out. Yeah. Now he's back in Chicago. Yeah, she sang jingles as well. Beautiful lady. Beautiful lady. I did not know Jason Weaver. I didn't know he was from Dalton. They don't. No one's ever told us that. Lena, you gotta let me know how you found that out. Now, I did get to go to a. Me and Jason Weaver are the same age, so I did get to go to a dance where he was there. This group called Subway was there, and this group called 702 was there. Now that's a whole nother story, Lana. Now see, you just threw me off. But Jason Weaver, he was always cute, always talented, and now he's back in Chicago. Um, hey Jaya. Okay, so let's get to so this is what happened. So my girl Helen, she was over here with her man, minding her business, and then a few years later he passed away. So she's single. She meets this new boo right here. He like, "Oh yeah, baby, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do what I need to do." But she's a rich socialite. She was throwing parties. She was giving to the community. Like not she wasn't in Inglewood or down there in Aldale Gardens or nothing, but she was a philanthropist amongst the rich people. Like in my head, I think the Dailies knew her, and all these rich people that were around Chicago at that time knew her. So Helen comes up missing. Okay, after she was hanging with her boo right here. Now, remember, her husband passed away. She starts traveling. She gets into horses and she meets this man. Look at the way his shirt buttoned all the way down. Now, this Helen husband, he was nice, got his shirt tucked in, minding his business. Now, she get with him, she gets all, she leaning over horses, riding horses, got her new haircut. She doing the thing. He got on his aviator sunglasses. They all in with the Brock's money, okay? So our girl Helen, she comes up missing. And her husband really loved her. That's why he made sure he left her everything. Um, she comes up missing, and the first person they went to was our boy right here, Mr. Bailey. Okay, So let's look at the news clipping from that. And it's so sad because you find love later in life. She thought she was set and she's left without a husband, all these fortune. Who can she trust? It's a big story. Probably have to do it over because you guys, I got sidetracked so many times today. So I'll probably do a certain video. So, but I had a great chat with y'all. So let's go ahead and listen to her disappearance. Now, this is when they decided to wait, no, I'm going too far. Um let's go to when she disappeared because Helen, let me start with Helen first. Because they started to demolish everything around her, and people are saying, well, if you demolish all these things about Helen, sell all her estate, get rid of everything, how are we ever going to find out what happened to her? And it's so crazy because who can you trust? Okay. So Helen Brach, this is her right here. She's this is a younger picture of her here. She's a missing Chicago socialite. She was last seen on February 17th, 1977. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are shrouded in mystery, and her last known activities included visiting her veterinarian's office to check on her pets. After that, she was reportedly seen leaving a friend's home in the Chicago area. Witnesses noted that she was driving her car, but she never returned home, leading to a widespread search and media coverage. Helen's disappearance sparked significant interest and speculation, particularly due to her affluent status and connections within society. Despite extensive investigations and various theories about her fate, Helen Brock's case remains unsolved, making her last known moments a crucial part of the ongoing mystery surrounding her life and disappearance. Okay? So let's go to when they started to charge this man, this man right here. We're going to go to may he rest in peace. He died in 2023. Let's start backwards a little bit, shall we? Poor Helen. I mean, she was just, and they said this is the greatest Chicago murder mystery. I was like, you mean bigger than like anything that happened with like the Al Capone days and stuff like that? People are calling this the greatest Chicago mystery. Also, you guys, we're covering the Tylenol murders too. That was crazy. I did not know the Tylenol murders happened in Chicago. Do you all remember that? We probably were babies when that happened, but that's how now you have the safety seal on your medicine and stuff because of the Tylenol murders. Chicago a mess.
Judy, Richard Bailey takes to the grave the holy grail of Chicago. Judy, Richard Bailey takes to the grave the holy grail of Chicago crime mysteries. Who killed Helen Brach? 93-year-old Bailey spent the first half of his adult life trying to sweet talk wealthy widows and bedazzled horse investors out of their money. He spent the last half of his life trying to sweet talk his way out of federal prison for a horse industry conspiracy targeting Mrs. Brach. Neither effort was as quick or easy as Bailey hoped. 65-year-old Helen Brach was known as the Candy Lady after inheriting her late husband's Brach Candy Company fortune. She was also a horse lover, and that made her a prime target for Richard Bailey, career conman who stalked well-heeled widows.
I have prosecuted hundreds of people who have committed thousands.
Y'all, look how he walked into court. Y'all, we got to hear him talk. He was so slick, and he was like, he was honest. I don't know if I think he murdered Helen. Do I think that maybe he knew who murdered Helen if she's murdered? I do. Like some money, some something happened. I don't think he murdered Helen. I think he might have hooked Helen up with something. Like Keith has said, he had Helen wide open. He was just like, yeah, I go after lonely women. I go after rich, lonely women, and I go after widows. He wasn't playing no games. He was so honest. It almost makes you wonder if he did it. So let's listen a little more.
Widows.
I have prosecuted hundreds of people who have committed thousands of evil deeds, but only probably a handful of those people did I regard as truly evil people. Richard Bailey is first in line. He preyed upon women when they were at their most vulnerable, after they had lost a loved one or after they had been divorced.
When Brach vanished in 1977, she was in a fast courtship by Bailey, then suspect number one. 2 years later, when the feds cracked an elaborate romance swindle that involved electrocuting horses for insurance money, Assistant U.S. Attorney Ron Safer was right there in line to prosecute Bailey and have him locked up for 30 years.
Richard Bailey knows who killed Helen Brach.
Okay, so this was my first time watching this too. Yeah, I believe he knows who killed her. So he went to jail for like not for murdering her, but he was running scheme and scams. And soon as her husband died, he swooped in with his butterfly collar and his charming ways. And because remember, Mr. Brach met Helen as a coat check girl down in Florida. And his business was here in Chicago. He had already got rid of it, I believe, at that time. And he went ahead, because his father, Emil, had passed on. And he went ahead and they built a home down there in Florida. Nope. He had to come back for some business. And that's when they came back to Chicago. So he had not sold it back. I'm sorry. I had to remember the story. So he had not sold it yet. So they came to Chicago. So Helen wasn't used to this slick talking Chicago. He probably was from the South Side. He probably was from Dalton, Illinois. He was just too slick for Helen.
He conspired with them. He arranged it along with others.
Does he know what happened to her?
Absolutely.
Does he know where her remains would be today?
Probably.
It was all a bunch of lies.
4 years ago, when Bailey was released from prison, he met with the I-Team.
How should you be remembered?
Well, just like I am. That's something I definitely didn't kill Helen Brach or involved in any way, shape, or form.
So you want people to remember you not for what you did, but for what you say you didn't do.
Well, whether they do or they don't makes no difference.
Neither Bailey nor anyone else have ever been charged by the state with Brach's actual killing.
Unfortunately, we'll never know what happened.
Safer believes Helen Brach was put to death by the horse mob and incinerated in a blast furnace owned by one of the racketeering defendants. That furnace, he says, never passed.
A horse mob? Helen had no idea what she was walking into. A horse mob? I think he definitely got Helen involved in some mess.
In a blast furnace owned by one of the racketeering defendants. That furnace, he says, never passed official inspection, but was fired up one time only, a few days after Brach disappeared. Richard Bailey died of pneumonia last week in a Florida hospital. A Bailey relative tells the I-Team tonight they are waiting for the U.S. Army to finalize payment for a proper funeral, something Bailey never afforded, Helen.
Watch Breaking.
Oh, and see, I'm with Gemini Tay 96. Yeah, it's sad because whoever else involved may be deceased as well. Yeah, the body was never recovered, but he had did so much scamming, so much dirt. A horse mob, a horse mafia. Hold on. Before they come over here, I didn't even know that existed. I wouldn't have played it.
I got some clothes. I got some jewelry. The rest I got tied up in investments. I ain't got nothing else.
I ain't got nothing, y'all. So don't come over here. I didn't even know it was a horse mafia. Look, y'all know I don't play. Remember we were playing. what were we playing that day, you guys? Dwayne Wade house and the fire. We got up out of there real fast. Look, we know nothing about Dwayne Wade house. We know nothing about the fire. I got some clothes. I got some jewelry. The rest, I don't got nope. Didn't know. Sorry. So sorry, y'all. Didn't mean it. I ain't know about the horse mafia. Okay, so they got rid of the Glen Grove Equestrian Center, but they think that Helen might have been there. That's where all this weird horse stuff, this horsing around was happening. No pun intended. It really was. It was a mess. Let's go ahead and hear when they tried to get rid of that. And the bad part about it, Helen didn't have any children. Most of the people in her family were elders. Her husband was gone. So who's really looking for Helen? And that's the sad part of this story. He found her, and a lot of people do this. When you get in relationships, they start to isolate you. And she was this nice socialite floating around downtown Chicago, doing her thing, having these huge mansion parties, living her life the way her husband wanted her to live her life until she ran into this dude. And he isolated her in this whirlwind romance. All right. So let's go to it.
Crime that's captivated Chicago for decades. The murder of a wealthy candy company heiress connected to the world of horse racing. Tonight, there is a curious development.
And you'll only see it on 2. CBS 2's Chris Ty takes us to Morton Grove.
Today at the corner of Gulf and Harms in Morton Grove, fresh piles of dirt and earth movers. Until this week's demolition, it was home to the Glen Grove Equestrian Center, a center built in the same month as Helen Brach's disappearance 45 years ago.
I understood at one time, I thought the authorities had gone to the scene there and did some digging looking for the body of Mrs. Brach.
John Drummond covered the Brach case for CBS. He believes with structures now down and access easier, it's time for a more thorough sweep.
Let's go back a second time and make sure, because there always was rumors that that's where Mrs. Brach's body was, in that stable at Harms and Gulf Road in Morton Grove.
She could be buried anywhere, but as you look at it, the easiest way to dispose of her body back then would have been here.
David Wallach produced a documentary on the candy heiress's disappearance.
Helen was the richest woman to ever disappear in the world, without a trace. And the rumor was that she was buried underneath Glen Grove Equestrian Center, and now it's gone.
Glenview police tell CBS 2 they're aware the facility has been taken down, but don't have any new evidence to warrant a dig. And former federal prosecutors agree.
I think it's a waste of resources. Unless there's a concrete lead pointing to a specific geographical location.
Stephen Miller secured a conspiracy conviction, not a murder conviction, against the only person ever convicted in relation to the Brach case.
She could be buried anywhere. The most likely burial site, if there was one, would be a place which had ties to the equestrian community in the greater, Chicagoland area.
In Drummond's opinion, this is the most mysterious disappearance in the Chicagoland area since World War II. At the time of her disappearance, Miss Brach was valued at $24 million. In the end, most of that money went to animal welfare charities. And even though it's been 45 years, if you have any information, you're asked to call Glenview Police.
Can you imagine being worth $22 million in 1977? What is that today with inflation? Is it an inflation? Let me see. Let me see. 1977. Oh, wait a minute. It said $22. I was trying to put 22 million. I don't know if they'll let me do that in this inflation calculator. She would be worth 113 million. No, I'm wrong. This calculator is not doing what I need to do. Let me see. I think I got it right. I'm not sure. Anyway, about $115 million, I think. Yeah, they pulled a native son on her. Oh my gosh. Okay, book. Um, yeah, Helen. They did not do her right. I want to watch a little bit of Timothy Jones documentary. I was watching it a little bit last night. 1977, she was worth 22 million, and because she had no children or anything, all of that went to the animal rights situation. Um, man, we were talking about this Heather Mack. I covered Heather Mack in my this sounds weird that I'm going to Heather Mack. But Heather Mack, do you guys remember her? Um Heather Mack, she was the heiress to a jazz musician and her mother let me pull up Heather Mack first. And her boyfriend Tommy, she wasn't worth millions, but they were well off, and they're fighting for her daughter right now. Hold on, guys. Heather Mack. We covered that on my channel. She's an heiress. So let me know if you recall this. So her mother, I think her mother name was something Voorhees. Oh my gosh. No. No. Y'all, I am so sorry. Hold on 1 second. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. Um, so Heather Mack, she turned around and Heather Mack, she turned around and murdered her mother, Sheila Von Weiss, I think her name was, and her boyfriend decided to um put them in a suitcase when they went to Thailand. Okay, and she actually. I'm so sorry, y'all. I be trying to get my stuff done, and I think I'm gonna take time for myself this week. I'm gonna be like, look, I'm cutting my phone off all week so I can get all my stuff together with no interruptions. I'm sorry, guys. So basically, the baby is out now, right? So the baby, because she went to Heather Mack went to her mother name was Sheila Von Weiss. And Heather Mack and her mother, they had such issues all their life. She was only 18. But her dad was James Mack, and he was like this super duper jazz person. And he had did what's that called with musicians when they musicians, what they do is they make songs, but he was like composed. He composed a lot of songs that he had, and he was rich. So his youngest daughter was Heather Mack, and Heather Mack and her mother Sheila did not get along, so they went to Bali. But they were so rich that Heather took one of her mother's credit cards, like American Express or something like that, and she flew her boyfriend in to Bali all the way over, put him in the same hotel or whatever, and they killed her mother, Sheila. So that happened back in like 2014. So you guys know over there they don't. You ever saw Locked Up Abroad? They don't play that over there, you guys. They locked her up pregnant. She was pregnant. They locked her up pregnant. They locked Tommy up too, and they kept them over there. They did not. Let me tell you, America did not come for them. Okay. So meanwhile, she still has all this money, not only just from her. They had a house in this city, I think it was called Oak Park, beautiful in neighborhood. But then they also had downtown condo, like most rich people do. They want that downtown life. So she's the last living child, Heather Mack right here, of her two parents. She was not extradited back to the US, and her sentence was a little lighter in Bali, even though the circumstances weren't as good. So now she got this baby. In Bali, in Indonesia, they allow you to raise the baby in the jail with her, right? So she got out of jail. So y'all, she come to Midway Airport. Okay, she has a trust fund. She paid her lawyer. I think she had a $1.6 million trust fund. So she was able to give the trust fund to the little baby. Okay. So the baby ended up being about um what, like 5 years old, and she ended up getting an adoptive parent. And with that baby, whoever has custody of the baby, they are able to get that trust fund. This is a real story, you guys. Look it up. Sheila Mack and Heather Mack. They put this lady in a suitcase and put her in an Uber. Okay, they thought it was just gonna go. They thought they would get away with it. It's so sad. So anyway, she um she got out of jail. So I think she got like 10 years. We covered this on the channel. I'll put it in the description box. We'll get off. She got like 10 years, right, in jail. Now Sheila, her mother, she has siblings. They're fighting for custody of the baby, but Heather wants the baby to stay in Indonesia with a guardian. Okay. So she sort of has a little control because the guardian in Indonesia will bring the baby to her to see her in jail every day. So Heather gets out of jail finally. She did her 10 years. Heather gets out of jail. I'm estimating 10 years. She gets out of jail first, and what they say, we're extraditing you because you have no citizenship here. We're extraditing you back to Chicago. Y'all, she landed at O'Hare Airport. They take her right to court. She ends up getting, because of conspiracy and obstruction of justice, she ended up getting another 26 years up here in Illinois in prison. Another 26 years. And the charges was to kill a U.S. national. So not only did she serve her time in Indonesia for the murder, she had to come back and face those charges in the U.S. too. And Tommy has to do the same. And then the whole time, the baby is up for grabs because Heather's daughter got the trust fund. So it's a big story. You guys have to look it up. It's really, really good. And that just made me think of another heiress. It's another heiress. And then Heather allegedly got some girlfriend in jail and she's writing a book, and it's just crazy. But this story was really, 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 really deep. But in Indonesia, they allowed them both to bond with the baby, raise the baby. So the baby, no, it's not like jail here. Like she had the baby and she was able to be every day in prison with the baby. Look how old the baby is. Isn't that something? But I heard those jails are rough over there, but I don't want to find out. Okay. So let's listen to a little bit of Timothy Jones' video on the murder of Helen Brach. Right then again. Here we go, another heiress. Thanks for staying with me, you guys. Okay, I think I lost audio for my screen share, so I'm gonna go back to it. Yeah, they're still fighting for custody. She has a parent here, but I know the Weiss family. So the dad family fighting and the Weiss family was fighting, but Heather Mack's daughter. Let me see if it changed. I haven't looked in 2025. Sorry, guys. Let me go right here. Okay. Um, we're gonna play this. I done got on poor. Maybe the
I
Lord
avoided
don't want
credit
me to
cards
play
most of
this
my
because
life.
I might
But
get
when I started to create a streaming
copywritten struck
platform for musicians
because I
like
got
me, I knew
copywritten
it was
struck
important
by
to
the
build my
Bozo show.
credit to
So
set my business up
let's
right.
go ahead and
I heard
play
about the
Heather.
Chime Credit Builder card and I signed up right away. I didn't have to worry about fees, interest, or credit checks. Within a month, my score went up. Now it's up over 100 points. I feel set up for success, and so is my business. I tell everybody about the Chime Credit Builder card. Here we go. Check it out at chime.com.
Well, Judy and Rob, Heather.
Here you go, guys. Let's play this. Thanks for being here. Sorry, I got a lot of distractions going on today. I'm so grateful to be moving on because this is crazy. All right, let's go.
Heather Brach's daughter had been placed in Lisa Hellman, her cousin's care, per a Cook County judge as Mac awaits trial. And after today's ruling, her daughter will remain in Lisa Hellman's care. A Cook County judge did rule today that Heather Brach's daughter will stay in the custody of family in Colorado under the care of Mac's cousin Lisa Hellman.
Oh, it's pausing up. Okay, guys, I'll probably end the live here because I got a lot of distractions going on that I didn't expect. And I'm trying to get through the videos and now I'm having technical difficulties. So I'm going to end it here. We'll come back later with some information on Naziah Harris. We're going to talk about the cousins today as well of Naziah Harris. And they're kind of having this family fight. I was going over last night. So we'll come back. I'm gonna get myself stable, away from everybody, move my location, then I'll come back with the Naziah interview. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks. Hey, Real Magnolia. Hello, everybody. Gemini, thank you so much. Thanks for being patient with me. And thanks for joining this live. I will see y'all. And as always, make sure you take care of yourself and each other and consider subscribing. Bye.
Commentary blue, commentary burgundy, commentary, comment blue, commentary, comment